overeats a lot. She seems to be obsessed with food the same way I was when I was younger. And my biggest fear, even when I was pregnant, was that she would end up like me, that she would develop an eating disorder and realize, and have her life destroyed like mine was. I know one day she'll know the word for what I have and what I've been doing, and she'll put two and two together and know exactly what it is. And I'm terrified that she will realize that she can eat what she wants if she purges, and she'll believe that, and she'll lose control like I did, and her life will be over like mine was.
How badly do you need help?
It's so funny. Before you called me the other day, I thought I was doing better, and I didn't really need the help. I thought I was doing good. But I know that I've done well before for a month or 2 months, and I've always slipped back. So I am pretty desperate for the help. Again, my insurance won't cover anything. But I do want to get better. I am committed to getting better. And I will do anything to keep living. I want to be here. A few months ago, I couldn't say that. A few months ago, I was not ready to give up my eating disorder. I was terrified, and I was fighting everyone who was trying to make me get help and trying to take it away from me. But I realize now that if I don't get help and I keep going the way I'm going, that I will end up dead or in a coma, or just not be able to take care of my daughter, and she really won't have a mother.
I really want you to get help too. Did your mom have an eating disorder when you were growing up?
When I was growing up, she was overweight, very overweight. I think she had, to be honest with you, in my opinion, I think she had a binge eating disorder. I remember, she would eat 2 or 3 donuts at a time in the car with me, and a few times I saw her, spitting out her food, but she was never anorexic or bulimic. But she is a big eater even now. She said, she'll admit it, she loves food. Food is, I think in my family, food is always everyone's comfort. It's always what everyone turns to, and that's why I think they can't understand why I don't want to eat, but yet they can sit there and eat everything. And I sit there like a freak and eat nothing. I don't think they get that I want to eat. I just don't know how. Not that I don't know how, I can't. I don't think they understand that part of it.
Talk to me about how critical your mom and your grandmother were of your weight while you were growing up.
They were very, very critical. And I love my mother more than anything. My mother, 2 months ago, sat by my bedside and told me I was going to die, and that she was not going to allow me to die. And she came to the emergency room with me every time and held my hand and told me it was going to be okay, and apologized to me so many times for what she did when I was growing up about my weight. And I do forgive her. But they were very critical. My mother would call me fat. She would call me a fat pig, tell me the only thing that I was good for was my face. And it's a shame that I'm going to, destroy it all because I'm too fat. My face was so pretty. My grandmother was the same way. My mother would make me exercise on the treadmill when I was 10. I would cry and then beg, I don't want to do it. But I had to do it anyway. My grandmother would restrict my food crazy. She'd cut the peanut butter candy cakes, the tasty cakes. She would give me one of them for lunch and cut it in half, and put it in my lunch. And, it was always me. I have a sister who was thin, very thin when I was growing up, and I was chubby. I personally, I think at one point, I did gain a lot of weight, but when I was younger, when I was 6 and 7 years old, I was a normal kid, I thought. Their goal, the only thing that, in my opinion, what I felt when I was growing up, that the only thing that mattered to them was that I was pretty and I was thin, because I was never going to be the smart one. And it was really all they wanted me to be was pretty and thin. And I couldn't accomplish that.
your body image like?
I hate every part of my body. There's not one thing I can tell you that I like. I thought once I lost all this weight that I would be happy, but it's never enough. I still feel like I need to lose another 40 pounds or 50 pounds. It never, no matter what size jeans I wear, it's never enough. I still need to keep going and going and going. The truth is, I guess no matter how much I lose or how small, whatever small size I wear, it's never enough. It's always got to be more. And, there's nothing about myself that I could tell you I like right now. And I have all this excess skin from losing weight all over my body that is mortifying and gross, but, yeah.
What do you imagine life would be like if you were to be able to manage your eating disorder? What are some of the things that you want to do if you're able to manage your eating disorder?
It's hard to think about that because I've always had it. So it's scary and it's hard to think about what it would be like. I really just, my main goal in life is just to be a good mom and to be free. I just want to feel free of this monster that just is destroying my life every day. I would like to one day get married and have more children. I want to be successful in my career. I want to feel free. I want to know what it's like to feel happiness. I've never, ever, I don't think ever, even when I was a child, felt happy. I always smiled at the right time or laughed at the right time, like on cue. I never felt at peace or free. I always had knots in my stomach or the self-hatred or something. And I just want to feel free. And I want my daughter to grow up and be happy and have a good mom.
Tell me about the therapy that you're getting now and how you're doing with it.
I go to my therapist. I've been seeing her for about 10 to 11 years on and off. And she's wonderful. And I trust her more than anyone in this world. But it's not getting me anywhere. It doesn't feel like I am doing better. But I don't think it's enough. She's begged me many times to go inpatient, and I tried it, but my insurance won't cover anything. And I see a nutritionist who I love, and she's wonderful, but, I'm trying to meet the calories that she wants me to be on, and it's just the minimal calories, but I'm not there. I just can't get there for some reason. I think I can. One day I hope to. I just not where I need to be, I guess. But I do see my therapist twice a week and my nutritionist once a week. It's costing me a fortune, and I'm a single mother, and I wasn't working very much, so it's difficult, but somehow I've managed to pay it.
Why get treatment now? Why now?
In December, my best friend's 5-month-old son passed away. And I actually feel awful that it took a baby passing away for me to realize how precious life is. But, they came up to me and it amazed me the fact that they were concerned about me when their son just passed away. But they both came up to me and said, Leonora, please do not put your mother through what we're going through right now, because you look like you're going to die. You don't have much longer, and you have a child to worry about. You are lucky enough to have a child, they said to me. Don't throw it away. And when they said that to me, I thought, okay, you're right. I'm going to try. And I did try, but my idea of trying wasn't enough. And then in January, a few weeks later, I had passed out again from my low potassium. And I knew if I did not get help, I most likely was going to die, and I realized I don't want to die, and I